Peace, family. This is James Dunn. I'm a science fact advocate for a Scifa genre. Scifa as in science fact. And the way we want to introduce this genre is in contrast to science fiction. It's a gaming genre, an edutainment-gaming genre that begins with cards, recording cards, so that not only do you get the pleasure of playing cards, you get the educational value of its relationship to code writing and computer algorithms. The same applies to the chessboard, and we have a couple of other boards that we want to introduce. This is an edutainment genre. So let me go right in with the cards very quickly. My cards are coded. 54 playing cards are coded with 6 primitives. So we can start with hearts, for example. Notice how hearts is coded with a musical note, the increment system, the hormonal system, and a chest note, right? Pixel. So I'm taking lunar phases, moon phases, and I'm turning them into pixels for digital computation. Notice how each of the abbreviations of the proteins is an alphabet. So that works because it's alphabetical. Notice how spades is coded with a sign language and Hebrew. Incidentally, the clubs is also coded with the Hebrew. And the significance of that is Hebrew is a number as well as a letter. So the letter is actually a number. So that keeps that whole computational thing going. Notice how spades is also coded with the dices. Right? So we're playing dices with this. And there's an element that's carbon. And you still see the Hebrew letter, and this is the sign for F and the alphabet. The digital version looks like this. These are the cards. Alright? When I said I coded the cards with the chess notations, I used the chessboard. So you'll see the chess notations along with the transitional metals of 64 squares. So I coded the 64 squares with transitional metals. The reason why I did that is because transitional metals transmit energy and data. So that turns it into a chessboard. A microprocessor. So this would make the cards significant and relative to the periodic table elements. Now what I did with the periodic table elements, I turned it into a magic square. So this is 9 by 9 in here. And you know it's a magic square when you start looking at the numbers and you're able to read the single digits up, down, sideways, and diagonal. The interesting thing about this particular magic square version of the chessboard is that you can see diagonal. It has transitional metals, inert gas, transitional metal, inert gas, as a stop and go sequence, because transitional metals, as I said, transmit energy at the speed of light, and the inert gas stops it or slows it down. So with this transition sequence, we're able to base our pieces on the boards. Now this is different from chess, but it's a legitimate chess game. It's based on chess. It's a legitimate board game based on chess. Notice how the cards are also coded with characters. Male and female characters. So you see the king and the queen. These characters are used to establish your avatars, and eventually your 4D holograms. So let's go into how this relates to a computer game. This computer game, video game, will turn your avatars, your 4D hologram, into a video game that introduces new technology, new industries, wireless energy industries. That's what we're going for, wireless energy. That's Nikola Tesla. So this particular invention takes the Tesla coil, it slaps a capstone prism on the top of it, and turns what usually would be a man-made lightning bolt off of the capacitor at the top of the Tesla coil. It turns it into a bioenergy laser beam. This bioenergy laser beam is coded with holographic data. The holographic data is coming from music. The brainwaves that we put into our music is amplified, and it charges the atmosphere with wireless energy and holographic data. If you zoom in on this, you'll be able to see how you can take that concept and develop superhero sports games. Sports games that enable you to augment basketball, football, and any other sport out there with superhero technology. So this is where we're going with this. Now, how does this benefit families? It's through subscriptions. I'm appealing to programmers, graphic artists, developers, specifically for the introduction of new industries and new technologies. This is a telekinetic treadmill. So if you're using a headset that's reading your brainwave frequencies, and it's connected to an internet dynamo, then the cells would read like your brainwaves read, and you could have a multi-directional chessboard. Any move you make on your treadmill, your avatar is making it. So if you're running on your telekinetic treadmill in the video game, you're running across a football field or whatever, but you're stabilized. You're probably just sitting, you're running in your living room. So this is the type of technology, the robotics, the microprocessors would be cold plasma, would be wireless energy, so those are fuel cells, and that's the future that we want to attract into the here and now. Introducing the cards and the scrolls is key. Promoting a video gaming series that allows us to have our own gaming site, edutainment-gaming site, where you're learning multiple sciences simultaneously without any effort. All you're doing is playing cards, chess, dice. So what we have out there is casino capitalism. But this is another form that allows us to get a better understanding of economic growth, because you're subscribing. So you have crowdfunding out there, you have Kickstarter, you have all these concepts and ideas that's being introduced that people want to be a part of. So what we want to do is establish a site for, as I said, programmers, graphic artists, developers, and the cost of the cards would be $44. 144 orders would kickstart the financial obligations to our code writers and our digital artists, our graphic artists. This is important because we're talking at least 6 different revenue streams with this site. A good site to go visit is chess.com, I believe it is, and take a good look at how those tournaments are set up, because the same tournaments that's set up on that site is a type of tournaments that can be set up on this site to attract professors, socially responsible professors, economists, investors, and the 6 revenue streams we're talking about here now are animations, donors for new inventions that are being developed online. It's open source. It's wireless energy devices. I call them WEDs. Donors are the free users, the subscribers, the merchandise, and the compound interest that we're using the chessboard for. So everyone that's interested, please email me at Scifa Done. That's Scifa Done at Facebook.com. Holla at your Scifa. Peace.